You're not the only trans people in the world. There's going to be tons of us out there in future generations. And I just think that should be the message that we pass on to everybody. For all the other Brianna Gheys out there, let's just make the world safer for everybody. Let's help people smile like that. Let's bring sunshine. I mean, that would be nice. Chance would be a nice thing today. But I wish I could have noted like an easy way to finish this. But yeah, let's just use Brianna's memory, keep her legacy going, pass that on to everybody. Let's just be human. Let's be us. Proceed with love, and thanks everybody.
Okay, do you need a hand or anything? Good. Okay. Yeah, you should have it, yeah.
My name is Ghey, my pronouns are he. I'm a disabled trans man who came in 2017, right in my I was completely lit from the first, and I set my opinion on it. I put something in the meeting and it was very scary. My parents did not hate me, their parents did. Their grandparents did, their favourite YouTubers did, that I did, and now it feels like the whole world does. I'm tired of being a political scapegoat. I'm tired of queer infighting. I'm tired of laws that pass about my body. And I'm tired of us being murdered. Looking at Brianna's photo, all I can think is that could have been me. And it could have been any one of you. I could be standing here now talking about you. And she will not be erased. And even though I never knew her, I will fight for her until my very last protest. And I will not stop fighting until we're all liberated. Because none of us are free until we're all free.
Hi everyone. As the previous speaker mentioned, trans life is objective. We are real. And I wanted to paint a quick statistical picture of what gets neglected in this conversation. As we stand here, we face down a historic brutalization. This hate campaign against us has shredded our sanities, robbed us of our lives, and left us without grief. According to Stop Hate UK, 88% of us do not report the violence we face to police. They fundamentally cannot be trusted, nor can the legal systems which strove to dead name and misgender her in death and bound her death certificate to her dead name. 48% of those who did report the horror they went through did not receive justice in their eyes. The systems we are forced to live under are designed to subjugate us, suffocate our trauma into the void. Every new year, we face down a horrifying new murder and hate crime record. Many of us are murdered in our own homes. We are massacred for striving to participate in public life and bludgeoned to the point where we beg for death. Our world is a wasteland of hostile architecture, gated away from the bulk of us due to our disproportionate poverty. We are told our healthcare needs are being groomed into us. This is despite recent data from the paper Detransition Rates in a National UK Gender ID Clinic by Sky Davies, Stephen McIntyre and Craig Rittmer, stating that out of 3,398 patients, only 16 regretted surgery and 10 only detransitioned temporarily, representing a real regret rate of less than 2%. Less than 0.2%, excuse me. We must not forget either that the overwhelming bulk of violence falls on the shoulders of black and brown trans people. According society, through 2013 till 2015, of the 53 known trans victims of violence in the US at that time, 46 or 87% were trans people of colour. Of those, 39 were black. That's 84.7% victims of colour. Sorry, that's 84.7% of victims of colour being black, and 73% of the total victims, despite black people just being 17.9% of the population at that time, according to census data. The myth that racism is just an American problem is naive, dismissive, and dangerous. According to Stonewall data from 2017, 1 in 5 LGBT people on the whole has experienced a hate crime within the last year. This leaps up to 2 in 5 for trans people and 3 in 5 for black and brown LGBT people in total. Stats for specifically black trans people were hard to even come across, so systematically erased is their memory. Transphobia is a weapon of white supremacy, and it is all too easy for us white trans people to disregard and erase this, particularly to cower away from our obligations as the media demands to resist imperialism, to dismiss and disregard the horror those in the global south, where over 70% of our recorded murder victims are located, go through. Right now, an incredibly disturbing campaign from an infamous cluster of our own community who I will not name as she humps attention, but who plenty of you already know, to exploit our white entitlement and encourage us to cannibalize our own senselessly in the name of white supremacy. Brianna fought for community, for unity, for solidarity. She helped 6 of her peers access life-saving healthcare that they would otherwise have been denied. They have been scrubbing the markers of these vigils clean with an eerie quickness. This society is determined to treat Brianna as just another true crime case and endlessly psychoanalyze the motive of the killers. This is dangerous convolution, a distraction we cannot afford. Sociologically, this monstrous creature of white supremacy robbed an innocent child of her life. We have the power to end all of this. We have the power to fight back. We must keep our focus on the true enemy, white supremacy, and the anachronistic systems upholding it. We must do so to honor her memory. Rest in peace, Brianna. You shone so brightly, even those who did not know you feel your loss. We will not forgive the society which did this to us, and we will not permit it to forgive itself. These vigils occurring across the country mark a turning point which has been emerging for quite some time. Taking this energy for granted will snuff the life out of it. We are capable of so much more than we have been doing, and we must fight to awaken this potential. For a world where no more of us are stabbed in cold blood due to the grandiloquent mewling of a predatory, washed-up screenwriter, a fascistic, tyrannical, and frankly ungrateful. The non-conservative Conservative Party, an equally fascistic cop occupying the position, and the gaggle of pathetic media hate-mongers take morale. Fuck this world! It is trying to shut down, trapping us inside this stunted escalation of 80s neoliberal fascism. Defend yourselves! Defend your loved ones! Defend your love! Thank you!
I'm Alice Cooper, yeah, the other Alice Cooper. I always wanted to be called Alice because I love Alice in Wonderland, and that's completely fucking fine. I could not see my own creativity and my own skills and my own value until I came out as trans. Before that, everything I produced I thought was absolutely shit. And in coming out as trans, I've been able to see myself and see the value in myself. And I've been working on a song recently. One verse seems very, very relevant, so I'm going to read it. Different times, different places, different minds, different faces. Open up all the spaces, push out bigots, push out racists.
We just decided now to do this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi. Excuse me, hi. My name's Lauren Miles. I'm a writer, trans activist, anti-racist and a socialist. I'm also a UCU member. Up on the picket lines at the university on Wednesday, I spoke at the rally and I made a big plug for today's event, urging people to come to it. And after that event, somebody came up to me and said, my biggest worry as a parent of a trans child is exactly what has happened to Brianna. I am terrified for what will happen to my trans child. I have a family member who has just come out as gay, and suddenly I fear for them in the current atmosphere, as you all do. That's why these vigils are so crucial. It's fantastic the numbers have turned out. It's fantastic. 3,000 people in Manchester, 600 in York. These events are so important because we stand together. When we stand together, when we stand close together, when we can hold each other, it's so much harder for the transphobes to knock us down. And we're right to be angry. I was devastated when I read about Brianna's death, but I have to say I'm sorry. I have to say it was not unexpected. That was not a surprise. This has been happening. So many young lives and other lives lost to the bigotry and the hatred. And we're right to be angry. And we're right to fight back. And we're not going away. We're not going to be driven back into the closets and so on. We are going to fight back. We have a long history. We should remember this. I've seen some people expressing some despair on social media at the hatred from the Tories, which is quite deliberate. They are trying to divide us. They're weak. They're corrupt. They're trailing in the polls. They're attacking us. They're attacking migrants and refugees because they see us as a soft target. We are not a soft target. We have a history of fighting back. Think about Stonewall. Think about the struggles over HIV/AIDS. Think about the fight over Section 28. We fight back because we fight for our lives. We fight for liberation. I want to see us out on the streets. I want to see Leeds have the biggest possible trans rights demonstration come the summer. I want us to go back to our families, to our workplaces, to our trade unions, to argue for solidarity for our fight back. Our fight is every oppressed group's fight, and we need to stand together. We need to demand the solidarity in our fight for liberation. It is a fight that we will win. The transphobes are not going to win. We will fight, we will win. Let's get out there, take it forward and struggle. Thank you.
Can everyone hear me okay? Hi, so I'm going to talk a bit about trans misogyny. It seems a lot like the anti-enemy when we're talking about violence against trans women. As a trans person myself, I feel that it's important to acknowledge that actually incredibly violent crimes have happened to a trans woman. The people that the police are attacking the hardest are trans women, and we, as a community who might be LGBT, might be parents of people who are LGBT, we need to make sure that we are looking after those who might be most vulnerable to these forms of programs. It is not enough to show up to a vigil and post your support online. You need to be doing practical things in your everyday life to support trans women every day. You need to be showing up to the demonstrations which have been spoken about here. When the lesbian strength marches happening, where are you? Are you standing with us? Because we need you. We need everybody standing with trans women. We need as many people who have shown up to this peaceful vigil to show up to all of the other demonstrations to show that you are continuously supporting trans women. And these violent crimes can't keep happening. This is not an isolated incident of murder against a trans woman. This is a systemic pattern of oppression which has been happening for longer than we have all been alive. It is an effect of colonialism, and it is attacking trans women in the world in which we live now. Women are being undermined in systems of healthcare. Trans women are unable to access healthcare, a lot of it on the NHS. The waiting lists are so horrifically long that a lot of people are dying for a lot of reasons. This is the most visible death of a trans woman, but it is definitely not the only one to have happened this year or in recent times. So well done for showing up today, but you need to keep showing up, everyone who's helped.
I'm really incredibly angry. It needs to be clear enough. And really angry that we haven't anything to tell us that trans people are valid, like you're part of the system. I'm really angry that someone who works at gender GPs here, they're gatekeepers of hormones. Like we already have the networks that support us. And we can make them because we have to. We don't have the support from elsewhere, and someone coming up and telling us that we're valid. Someone probably owns over like 60k a year coming up and telling us we're valid. It's very easy for him to do. Where's he now? Like the cameras have gone. Like, come on.
Where is Richard? Where is Richard?
But yeah, like, it's us. We've got this. Other people don't have us. Like, we're the ones who have to buy hormones online and we're the people who like are teaching each other how to stay safe.
Yeah.
It does set up the tickets as well. I used to want to people just the little tunnel around it.
Yeah. Make a show basically.
Conversation at the moment to start some so keep an eye on. But we just have to protect ourselves. But yeah, I mean.
Can everyone hear me okay? Alright, I just want to start this off by saying I love all of you, and this is fucking rough. So I didn't know Brianna, but I know that this is wrong. Last week I did not know Brianna's name, and I still shouldn't. My friends in America shouldn't know her name. I can only extend the utmost love and comfort to those who did know her. Hello. Over 95% of recorded trans people over the past 2 years are trans femmes, and I cannot bear the messages and the looks in my friends' eyes when they tell me about how scared they are in the wakes of avoidable tragedies like this. As a trans mass, I want to say that we stand with you. We will keep challenging the hateful rhetoric that puts you as well as the rest of us at risk. At a recent protest, someone said that for some trans people, even going to the shops is an act of bravery, and that rings so true. To my friends who are scared, wearing a skirt and makeup out is your right and your freedom. Being happily gender non-conforming is your right and your freedom. Our community will protect other. I was once an unsupported trans child, and here I am now surrounded by people I love, by a community that I love. We absolutely must not stop fighting. Fuck the Tories!
Fuck the Tories!
I hate that this has to be a call to action. I hate that in our grief we have to try and make cis people see us and our experiences for their truth. And I absolutely want to back up what was just said about cis people coming and telling us that we're valid. It's hard not to feel failed by politicians right now. The length of the queue of people waiting to speak right now speaks volumes to the grief and anger we as a community feel. I want to see all of you at places other than vigils and fights for our rights. I want to see you in like club nights. I want to see you at nice times, not when we're grieving. I came out at 13, and when I finally told my parents how lonely and miserable being a trans teenager was, they were shocked. I know that many of you aren't, so now, please now, hug a trans person you love. Please comfort the choice whether you are trans or not in that things can improve and we will make them. Rest in power, Brianna.
I used to bring lots of trans stickers to me. I write things something like "You are valid," but I think it was still popular. I gave them all out last night at York, and I was on the rest of it. And I left my flagpole on the phone.
My name is Molly, I'm 17 and I'm a lesbian, who's here because I'm truly enraged, not only at the event of Brianna's murder, but the lack of systems to queer people that I see willing to stand up and talk when we need it more than ever beyond empty words. Brianna died when she was a year younger than myself, and her life was taken with sheer brutality. To get to the point, Brianna Ghey was taken as a byproduct of bigotry-fueled culture wars that we are seeing throughout the media and our government. We have a government, both blue and red, that is not, please not at worst, not prioritising or even worse, actively promoting a culture war to win elections. Our media is swallowing her dentists, friends and family to bring her dead name and private details to light, to give our blinded, ignorant public something to latch onto and stick vitriol. We say it ever again, every fucking time. Yeah, when will it stop? Recently, the MP who spoke to Ghey, Richard Birkin, who's also my local MP, unfortunately, came to my sixth form. Me and several others brought to attention Keir Starmer's refusal to allow trans people 1,600 to change their gender on medical documents. His presence here is a very small, mediocre star, don't get me wrong, but we and him and the government must do better! We must stop arguing it. It's difficult, it is hard to confront bigotry in others, to fight against a media that is owned by conservative fools intent on rallying the over 65 and aging to keep them voting for them while they stand on their necks for profit. But we will! Transphobia is a product of patriarchy, a system that reduces women's their ability to reproduce in our private, aims to reduce us to simple biology, when women are so much more. Brianna Ghey is a victim of violence against women, and the media aims to dehumanise her because if they showed her as human, they'd have to show their bigotry for what it is, soulless, so much so that they are willing to dehumanise a child in the name of trans misogyny. For these vigils all across the country, souls that the term gender and Tory media are losing, they will lose. They will lose like they have time and time again. At the end of the day, what this all boils down to is a 16-year-old is dead. A sister, a daughter, a friend, a granddaughter is dead. No more! I refuse to stand by as my trans friends count their dead. None of us are free till we all free, as many people have said up here. And LGBT does not and can never exist without the T. They are integral to our history and us winning our rights, this or not. And to the other cisgender people who are also here, I thank you, but I do have something to ask. Are you with me? Thank you. You're so well.
Can I give you a hug as well?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Literally, my heart is like out of my body right now.
The real enemy is the white model. Ours is the cis model. And forgive Richard. The cis moderate sits back and does nothing as we're scapegoated for all the country's problems. Last week we saw the inevitable outcome of the hostile environment that is turf Ireland. The coverage of our press, especially the Mail, the Times, etc., has been abhorrent. It's just next level evil half the time. We're less than 1% of the population, but the coverage of us has gone up by 400% in the last couple of years. And it's not us writing that news. We're demonized under the guise of just asking questions. They know their questions are bad thing. They don't care. But the cis moderate sits back and refuses to shut them down. We're less than 1%, but we can't rely on the cis moderate to get up and do something about it. We can't rely on them to fix the institutions that kill us and push us to our deaths. The mix of anger and sorrow that I feel now is something we as a community face far too often, even in easily 2 years compared to people here. More and more I'm hearing plans from people planning to save up as much as they can and get out of the country, which a lot of us won't have the luxury of doing. We're hearing Tories talk more and more about repealing the Equalities and Human Rights Act. Whose human rights have gone too far? They refuse to ever answer that question, of course. I can feel the exhaustion growing as our attempts to get our basic human rights perspective keep ending in failure. But we're not going to give in. Not only do we deserve to get hot, like people before me said, we also deserve to get old and wrinkly and gross. So I ask everybody today to connect with someone new here, build mutual aid, organise. If they don't give us justice, then we'll give them no peace. Trans power.
Hi, my name is B. I'm gender fluid. Yay. I only have a couple of points. My main one was actually slightly covered, which is that we get, trans people as a whole get thrown around as like a debate point or a vague sort of concept in political topics and like articles and stuff, like a sort of gotcha question. And I think if you're trans, you notice this, and you see this, and you see when it's asked in like question time and stuff, and you see it as like you are being asked as not a person but a concept, and it's how we're dehumanized. We're reduced down to something that doesn't exist, but like we're just boiled down to a debate, and trans people aren't a debate. We're a fact, we're a thing that exists. We're not oh, what side of the fence are you on? It's like, it's one of the most frustrating things ever is that you can see in real time how you're being dehumanized and how this violence is being carried out, and other people around you, the cis moderates, are like, oh, well, you know, I just don't really feel like it. And it's like, no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works, because you look at this all today and it's people. You talk about the dehumanization and you can see it so clearly, and it's so frustrating. And it's like you're just being talked over. And I'm autistic, so I'm used to being talked over. But I'm glad I got that. But we shouldn't have to be used to being talked over. We shouldn't have that. We should, people have said that, you know, we should embrace the anger, and we should also, on a level, embrace the fear, because there's the strength and there's the fear that comes with embracing your own strength, and the fact that we don't always have the ability to do that. Like, if any of you come from a really small town and you go home for Christmas and you're like, right, yes! I forgot Greg's here, he's from the same town as me, yay! Hi Greg!
Yeah.
I
think they've kind of just arrived, but I feel like
hi Greg! Everyone say hi Greg! He's staying for this long! He's not like Richard, he's better than Richard!
I hate Richard so much.
But we're from the same hometown, and every time I go home, I enter cis mode. And if you come from a small town, you know what that's like. And there is having the strength to be angry, while also acknowledging that not every trans person is able to be visible. And not every trans person, this sort of thing, I say this sort of thing, a young woman being killed, because there is that temptation to sugarcoat it. A young woman being killed is going to, for some people, put them back in the closet and have them hide who they are. And that is both not okay, it's absolutely not okay, and we should do something about it, but we also need to signal to the people out there who are having to keep themselves hidden for their own safety that we are there and we are ready for them. And that's kind of all I had prepared. I hope that was alright.
My name is Sophie. I'm a 23-year-old trans woman. I've never done a public speaking before, and I couldn't really prepare anything, so I'm just gonna go as much as I can. So when I did want to speak, but I wanted to make sure that Brianna was centered in my speech, and so I wanted to try and get into her perspective. And so I thought, what would I want people to say after I have died? And that just right there, that's the end of it. Brianna should never have had to think that. None of us should ever have to think, what would people say after I've died? And it's just so sad. A 16-year-old, it's just very difficult. It's hard to say anything. I can only think of her death and how young she was, and it's just very difficult. That's all. Thank you.
Can you hear me? I'm a 23-year-old trans woman who came out at the same age as Brianna, and I was worried about how I could have ended up in the same situation as she ended in at that age. And it's disgraceful that we have politicians and people coming on the BBC, coming on all sorts of newspapers all the time, talking on our behalf, doesn't know anything what they're talking about, and just fucking disgusting that they have to stand up to us and to tell that to us in person and have us involved in the debate. They don't want to have us involved. This capitalistic system has failed us, and we need to stand up to it, whether you're cis or trans. We need to stand up for this. We need to fight back. Also when I was her age, the first year and a half, I was self-medicating, just hiding the medication from my parents. My dad wouldn't accept me for the first 2 years as a trans woman. Now he accepts me, and it's all good, but for the first 2 years, I had to come home to my dad and be able to be that name every day for 2 years that was awful that time. I know how it is at that age to be trans. We honestly just need to stand together and fight back.
Hi everyone, my name's Avery. I wasn't really planning to do this, but I'm just going to read you a short poem that I wrote a few days ago. Hang on. It is scary to grow up. Scary that it's been so little growth for far too long. When I live with the memory of every day wishing to be older or destroyed, to be forgotten forever. Wishing I could be anybody else with no way of knowing my own abundant spirit. I could turn tears into flowers, into forests. I could paint the skies magenta, make a galaxy of love from a single moment's glance, and live shining so brightly. How could I be so beautiful? And who am I to cry over it? I am I have escaped the colossal storm that defined me eons ago. I am here in full, eternally thankful, in search of the self in the other, terrified to learn that we are everywhere. We always were.
Sorry.
The we who cannot be killed, who were left waiting to bloom, ready to fill the world with joy. We were always there. We who will not be destroyed. It is scary to grow up and to wake up, staring death in the face every day, and to say no, not today. I won't let you take me. This world is for all of us. We are far too strong. We will not let you win. Thank you.
Hiya. I'm Jasmine, I'm a trans woman, and first things first. Hi, Greg. Yeah, no, hi, Greg. Hi, Greg. I'm here to talk about something that is incredibly personal, and I need you to listen to me. I'm not going to talk at you, I'm going to talk to you. This is really important. We're not here to be told that we are angry. We know for fuck's sake we're angry. We don't need to be told to be scared. We know we're fucking scared. I'm here to tell you that we're a fucking community. We fight for each other, with each other, whether we need to be militant or not. We are a team. And we come together as a family in a vigil to talk about someone who should not have lost their life. For fuck's sake, we don't need to be reminded by stupid fucking MPs who think they know who we are, they think they know who we can be, and they think they know who we are supposed to be. We are we, and we are all one together. I'm not talking at you. Every single fucking person here. You are powerful, you are beautiful, and you're hot. Just like Greg. You are wonderful. I'm not going to be standing here for a self-serving reason because I think I'm so fucking clever to talk to you all. This isn't about me. I am you, and you are me. If anybody here feels like they're alienated, ostracized, pushed aside, or feel like there's nothing left of them to give, come to me, because I am you and you are me. We fight together.
Hi everyone, I've just been very quickly dragged on. Just to set this up and over the mic, so it's just going to be a break for 2 minutes.
Let's do it. Yeah, come on, dance with me. It will make you warmer. Yeah, to keep dancing makes you warmer. Yeah. My brother's just going to sit on the Yeah. Really cool. It's really emotional. It's like so yeah. Good. I'm excited. I can film it. You want to film it? I'll take pictures. Fair enough.
That was a big move, wasn't it?
You what, sorry?
You said it's a break, everyone's pissing off.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't
Come on, bro.
Come on.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe they will.
I found it!
I'm sorry.
You will be.
Oh, your skirt, sorry. It's so like.
I got it from Rainbow Rebel on eBay.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they're really good. I get lots of stuff. They do lots of stuff, and I like the wrap ons because I'm often on off my bike, so I just tend to wear cycling shorts and I can just whip it out of my bag and just kind of whip it there.
Yeah.
Around myself.
Hello everyone, my name is Zach. I am a trans non-binary person. I have travelled here today to Brighton and I bring the love from the LGBTQ and trans community from Trans Pride Brighton to Leeds to the north in solidarity with you. On Wednesday when we held our vigil I was unwell. I was unable to attend. I didn't speak. And I just want to say, whoever made this plaque that I've been holding this whole time, it says, "Rest in love, Brianna, Ghey." And I want to say thank you for making this. And it is a beautiful thing that I've been proud to hold. I am 31 years old, and I lived as a homeless person from Brianna's age. I've been oppressed and pushed around, and I have had a hard life. A life that I should not have had to live the way I've lived. But again, how many people have said this is not about me, this is about Brianna, a young woman who has been murdered. And the police in this are saying this is not a crime against women is disgusting. How dare they say that? How dare they register their death in a gender that she did not choose? It is disgusting. And we need to stand now together and say that is not right and this is not happening anymore. Because I feel that politicians who stood here in the front should be at the back of the queue in the rain with cisgender people behind us waiting for us to speak first. It is us that's being oppressed, us that's being murdered, us that is being hurt and damaged by society and a system that they work for and support. And no matter how much good they are here trying to do, and I respect that, they are still part of that system. I have been an anarchist, I have been an activist most of my life. Not by choice, by falling into that because I became a squatter at a young age. That was the community I found. I found amazing queer people who lived outside of the patriarchal system that is in place in this country. The patriarchal system that oppresses us. The patriarchal system that tells us that we are not allowed to exist. And social media and all these huge public figures at the moment that are basically trying to erase us from history, trying to push us back in the closet. We are not going back. And we will never. And we will stand together. And Brianna Ghey's name will go down in history as a young woman who will change a massive ripple effect across the world. This needs to change now. This cannot happen again. No more death and violence to trans women and trans people. And trans voices need to be heard. And this is me bringing my love from Brighton and from the community there to all of you here in Leeds. I love you all, and rest in love, Brianna Ghey.
Max, you have to slow down. Can you hear me in the back?
I'm so sorry.
Can you hear me in the front? Can you hear me? Right.
My name's Sally Kincaid, and I wasn't going to come today. I was going to go to Rotherham. I'll tell you about Rotherham in a minute. But I thought it was really, really important I came today because my child is trans. It's the one I've got the star for, you know. And they're not here at the moment because they're working. So if you want a coffee afterwards, go down to Flamingos, you see someone there, say, Ro, your mum said hello! You see, I've been in that long, so I didn't realise it was quite that long. And I'm sorry Richard's not here. Actually, I quite like Richard Bergen, and I quite like him to be my own thing, to be honest with you. I'm stuck with Hillary Clinton. That's beside the point. He was supposed to film me. Anyway, the reason I got to you, somebody said earlier on about parents. And you know, being a parent is actually very, very hard. Because when you hurt, we hurt. When you're happy, we're happy. And that's the thing, isn't it? And sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes we get the pronouns wrong. The pronouns, what are the pronouns? And I'm sorry, I apologise to anybody if I've ever said the wrong pronouns. But I want to tell you just a couple more things. Raining and they want their coffee. When I was talking to my dad about Ro and how we transition, etc., we started talking about non-violence. Next time I saw him, I said, Sally, I've been thinking about Ro and I think I might be a bit non-binary too. And I went, I think you probably are, Dad. And that's the thing, isn't it? Once we're open and honest, where we can be, people change around us. Don't they? They just change. I want to just say a couple more examples. I'm a very proud mum of a trans child. But I'm also a very proud mum of somebody else. He's a refugee, for God's sake. What a random family we have. And he's not LGBT+. But his sibling is, and that's what's important. His sibling is LGBT+. And I don't want to talk about Hussein either. I want to talk about something else, because I do volunteer care for Calais. The other week we were giving out new pants and new socks and playing dominoes with a group of guys. Very near here. And one guy got really, really close. I mean, what's going on? He said, sorry, I need to find this group. It's fine. And he had a photograph of my partner, the guy hopefully filming him. He said, this one. Steve had spoken at the Trans Memorial event, whenever it was last year. And this is the guy said, basically, I said, is this your flag? And the LGBT trans flag. And that's important, isn't it? Because last summer, we were battling with a Fender drag storyteller just across there against a bunch of ugly people. We got on, didn't we? They crawled back into the sewers like racist, sexist, rats. Now those same sexist, racist, homophobic rats were in Rotherham today, demonstrating against the Home Office Hotel. I'll tell you a little secret, folks. We outnumber them 8 to 1. When we stand together, whoever we are, we do outnumber them. And my final thing is, I'm also a teacher. Actually, I was a teacher a bit more. 15 years since I was in the classroom, but I am in the National Education Union. I'll try that again. I am in the National Education Union. And I'm going to say to the teacher, how would I feel knowing there was an empty space in my classroom? I'd feel angry and sad. So because I'm a member of the National Education Union, I'm going to invite you to an event on the 28th of February, which is our next Strike Day, where we're challenging the government over funding and conditions and all everything else. And I want you to come with us, with your flags, especially with your flags, to either Millennium Square or the Art Gallery at 11:30 on Tuesday the 28th of February, where we stand together, united, as workers striking, as educators striking, as people challenging the government, because we've got the government to bloody challenge, haven't we? So say it loud, say it clear, what are you going to say?
Yeah, this is.
Hi. So, I would just like to say that I think it's fucked up what happened. I'm a non-binary child. I feel like I deserve to be safe in my own neighborhood, in my own school, and I don't feel that. I get hate every single day for being who I am, and that's fucked up. This shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't have to be out here, but we are. So, hold on. I don't want people in power. I don't want teachers and MPs telling us that we're valid. I want us to be able to feel, to be able to live in a world where we can be free without people needing to tell us that. And they don't even believe that. That's the fucked up thing. They don't even believe that. They're saying it to make them look better. They shouldn't. And I just want to say, I'm so proud of whoever's come out or whoever's still in the closet but thinking about it. I want to say that I love you however you are. Thanks.
Hello. My name is Alex and I'm a non-binary person. And I am still in school. I face shame every single day just for being who I am. It's people like Brianna and her story that remind me that even in my darkest moments that I have a right to express myself and be who I want to be. Because at the end of my day, my identity does not fucking affect anyone else, and I do not deserve to be dehumanized and hated just trying to live my life. That is what Brianna was trying to do. I'm younger than Brianna, and she was a child like me. And her life was cruelly taken from us. And it is disgusting that murders of innocent trans lives are still happening in 2023. Knowing that even there is a small chance that incidents like Brianna's could happen to me, to my friends, is fucked up beyond belief, and it is terrifying. But seeing everyone here today and everyone across the UK united to support people like me, trans youth, and to support each other, it gives me a hope for a better future. We need to make a change, and we need to make it now. Because if things don't start changing now, incidents like this will continue to happen. But I believe that we can be the people to make this world a better place for trans lives. So we don't have to live in fear, and we don't have to hide. Rest in peace, Brianna, and thank you.
Hi, my name is Molly, and I actually can't believe I'm doing this. I called my mum for permission to be interviewed on Look North. I didn't do it eventually, but the first thing she said to me was, don't get political, don't bring politics into it, don't do it. So after some deliberation, I've decided that I'm going I'm going to talk about the school system today, because Brianna and the two horrible people that took her out of this world were in school. I missed my history lesson on queer history, the 145-minute lesson. I've been in high school for 3 years. The 145-minute lesson covered all of our history. I missed it. And I think it's disgusting that people aren't educated on our lives and how we had to live through our history, how people had to hide for years, and people still don't understand what it's like to go through every day living like this. And that alienates the trans and queer people. It makes us feel apart from the population, and it's not okay. Another thing I want to talk about is, I didn't know Brianna personally, but from what I've gathered from what people have been saying about her today, is that she was a spokesperson for the people who couldn't speak loud enough in situations. She chose to use her voice and her platforms to make people feel comfortable in who they were.
And I want to do that. I want to say all the people who weren't brave enough to come here today, all the people who weren't brave enough to speak but thought they might be able to, I wouldn't have been able to do this 2 years ago. And I'd like to have a round of applause to all the people who are proud enough to be who they are and to be what they want to be. You don't have to speak out, and I'm glad to be your voice. My sister's in the crowd. Hi, Elsie. And she wanted to give a message that basically sums up the reason why all of us are here. It's not fair that people still die for who they are, that shit like this still happens today. It's 2023 and it's time that people get to live freely. Thank you. Rest in peace, Brianna.
Hello. Oh, I'm very close. Hello. My name is Joe, and I did not plan to call these people. This is Fred Otto, by the way, who we're very proud of talking earlier. Can we just have a round of applause for Otto? Yes, you've got this. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and I want to tell a little bit of a story. She wants to remain nameless, but she said I can tell this. My friend is Jewish and trans, and we have a lot of common ground that way. And I was talking to her grandmother the other day. She's her great-great-grandmother, I believe, is still around, and she fled Germany in 1933 because of the Nazis, and she foresaw what was coming, and turns out she was right, and it was horrific. Not all of her family made it out of that, and now we come into 2023, 90 years later, generations later, and we're having the same questions and problems again. The transgender question, or transgender debate that we see on every newspaper and on GB News, rotten hell, is the modern day equivalent, 90 years later, of the Jewish question. And it's unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. They had the foresight to flee. We can't flee. We can't flee our identities. They stood by their identities and made the right choices. We need to make those choices now, and we need to fight for our right to exist. And the most simple act we can do to fight back is to exist. So if you can, if you are able to, I want everyone who is trans here, or non-binary here, or an ally here, or a parent of a trans person, or a parent of a trans child, to wear your transness as a badge of pride. It's a pride movement for a reason. I want you to walk down the streets, wear your transness as a badge of honour. And we will not have this same conversation in another 90 years. Thank you very much.
Hello, this is the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my life. Hi, like many people here, I'm trans. I'm here because I'm really angry about Brianna's death. She shouldn't have died. And the fault lies with the government. It is the government's fault. The government's constantly fucking supporting TERFs in every aspect, making MPs just like fucking ignoring us. Anyway, fuck the government. It's about the government. Fuck Keir Starmer. Fuck Rishi Sunak. I'm fucking sick of it. I have so much more to say. I found it and I can't think. But yeah, and it's the Department of Education is at fault here, and also the media. The media for constantly pushing around and saying, "Oh, it is the transgender issue," as Sean Fay said. The transgender issue. What issue? We exist, we are people, we are human beings, that is all we do. We exist. There is no issue to be debated about, like, our existence, okay? Basically, that's it, and I'm standing here for Brianna because she was literally a fucking child. She did not deserve to be fucking murdered. And again, the fault lies with the government, the fault lies with the media for constant anti-trans rhetoric. Literally every single fucking day of our lives, we can't have one moment of peace. And that is it. And I'm also standing here for